host, Chris Crenshaw, and we are live once again from the 704 for episode 67 of the 815 Exchange. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a busy week, and it's going to be another busy week for me. A lot going on, and of course a lot going on. And we got the entertainment segment is just back in full force the past 2 weeks. So appreciate y'all holding it down. Basketball is back, which means we have a college basketball segment as college basketball return. So we got that coming. What else? And of course everything that happened in football, because once again, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. But as always, remember to like, share, and subscribe if you guys are enjoying the content. Like I said a couple weeks ago, just past 400 subscribers. Appreciate all the love. What else? Social media links and of course timestamps are as always in the description. So if you're looking for a particular segment, you really want to hear me talk about the NFL, you really want to hear me give that Silk Sonic album review, whatever it is. You want to hear the Roundup. You want to hear everything. I got a pretty big Roundup this week. You want to hear me talk about that, whatever it is, feel free to skip ahead. Long form content, I get it. But without further ado, no need for a long intro today. We're going to get straight to it. College football, man. College football. Now, my hopes and dreams of competing for our Conference USA title in our last year. My hopes and dreams for us to potentially clinch, and clinch the bowl game, right? Clinch being bowl eligible, and me not having to worry about, not being at the last home game as I'm going to be on vacation this weekend. All those hopes and dreams, gone, vanquished, disappeared, dissipated. Thanos snapped away because we lost to a 2-7 Louisiana Tech team. CR3 had 448, but we let Marcus Williams Jr. go for 131 and 4 touchdowns. As once again, we have the worst rush defense in America. We lose 42-32 after trying to mount a comeback that just came up short. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. The rush defense is embarrassing. Losing to a 2-7 team is embarrassing. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It feels like we're losing way too many games that we should not be losing. And at this point, it's like, you know what? If we don't make it to a bowl game this year, if we lose out, which is very possible, we could lose to Marshall and lose to ODU in the last game of the season. We didn't deserve it. We didn't deserve it. Because I don't know if we're going to make a bowl game this year. And of course, we're back at Jerry Richardson this Saturday. Hopefully we do better. We usually do better at home. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss out, which I hate. But hopefully we hold it down, get it done at home like we did 2 years ago. But it's just been such an up and down season, man. It's been up and down, and it's tiring. But nonetheless, Pittsburgh, UNC. Let's get to this national schedule, man. Pittsburgh and UNC, a battle of two of the top, quarterback prospects. Kenny Pickett's been on the rise. A lot of people were calling for him to be the Kenny Heisman, not Michigan State's Kenny Heisman. Early on here, Pittsburgh took a loss last week. They needed some rebound. UNC coming off a big win in which they undefeated Wake Forest. And well, ladies and gentlemen, in the duel of the two of the top quarterbacks in the ACC, and a lot of people would probably say the country, between Sam Howell and Kenny Pickett, winner goes to Pickett and to Pittsburgh. They get the win 30-23. Pickett goes for 346 and 3 touchdowns. Just outlasted UNC, outlasted. Their defense actually showed up, made necessary stops, got it done when it mattered, and of course Pickett holds it down. Pittsburgh gets the win. Michigan, Penn State. Jim Harbaugh, everything we say about Jim is, that he doesn't win the big one. He doesn't win the big games, right? He doesn't beat Ohio State. He doesn't beat Penn State. He doesn't beat Michigan State, right? That's the biggest criticism, and really the only criticism so far of Harbaugh's Michigan tenure. His main call. He can be very good, but they can't beat the elite. well this year, even though Penn State has, not been at their best. He won one of those games. He won, and it should count as a big game. I don't care, even though it's still a big game. Michigan got the win 21-17. Aiden Hutchinson showed why he is not just one of the best defensive linemen, not just why he's one of the top NFL draft prospects, not just why he's one of the best players in the country. 7 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, and of course 3 of those were sacks. Hutch went crazy. Cade McNamara went 217 and 3 touchdowns. Hassan Haskins was toting that thing. He had 201 touchdowns total. Sean Clifford was in the torture rack. His offensive line was not in with him at all. Got sacked 7 times. That's not winning football. It's never going to work out when it's going like that. Wolverines roll. Congrats to Harbaugh and co. That Michigan-Ohio State game is looking like it's going to be one of the biggest Michigan-Ohio State games in a very, very, very long time, and I'm very excited for it. Baylor uncrowns the kings of the Big 12 in Oklahoma and sends them away with an SEC chant. Baylor gets the win 27-14, and Oklahoma is no longer undefeated. And the way the committee had already ranked y'all, that is not good, because I don't see y'all making the playoffs from here. Soups. Caleb Williams had his comeback to earth and really his welcome to college football moment here in this game. Baylor's defense was not playing. They got 2 picks off of Soups. I think he had a fumble as well. Got benched actually for Spencer Rattler, who didn't do too much better. But nonetheless, Gary Bohannon was the superior quarterback. Baylor had the superior quarterback play in this game. 224, 3 touchdowns. Abram Smith, 148. Just good stuff. Just good stuff all around from Baylor. Dave Aranda. Well, I mean, that field goal at the end was also that was one of the most disrespectful things I've seen in a minute from college football. Really probably one of the most disrespectful moments of the year, because it was super unnecessary, but it was also super necessary. But Baylor gets the win over Oklahoma. Huge win. Honestly, without that upset loss, I think towards TCU last week, they would be in in contention. Huge win. Opens up the Big 12. We'll see what happens from here. Mississippi State. No Mississippi State. No Mike Leach slander here. They played very well. I have to admit. I think this is their 3rd, 4th win against a ranked team. Against the only team they can't beat is Bama, apparently, and probably not Georgia. But they get the win over Auburn, who, it's Auburn. This is what they do. 43-34. Will Rogers, another brilliant day. 44 for 55, 415 and 6 touchdowns. It's ridiculous. Video game numbers for Rogers yet again this season. If I'm a quarterback, I would want to play for Mike Leach, because I'm going to put up big numbers. It's going to get ridiculous. So, Bo Nix also held it down. It was a great quarterback duel. This was another great quarterback duel this week. Bo Nix, 27 for 41, 377, 2 touchdowns. So not a bad game for Bo. It wasn't on him, but that defense cannot stop the Mississippi State passing game. And Leach in Mississippi State, the Bulldogs, no slander this week. I'm sure they'll be ranked on tomorrow when the rankings come out again. And it's a little bit more justified this time. A little bit more. I still want to put them at 17th back then. I will stand on that. I will die on that hill. But nonetheless, very good win this week against Auburn. Georgia, the number 1, the undisputed, no debate. Alabama's not even in the conversation. Sure, we'll see what happens in the SEC championship, but no debating right now. Georgia, the undisputed number 1 team. They played Tennessee and my boy Hendon Hooker. I was very excited about this matchup. Hook didn't have his best game, but didn't have a bad game necessarily. It's just that Georgia defense is ridiculous. It's somebody every week. Of course, Adam Anderson out indefinitely with his whole situation. Shannon Tindall steps up, 8 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, 3 sacks. Similar to Hutchinson's. Very, very similar to Hutchinson's stat line from the Michigan-Penn State game. But what else? James Cook, former 5-star prospect, same class as Amir White. They were supposed to be the dynamic duo to take over college football, and it's taken some time. But this year, it's been looking very, very good. Stetson, and Stetson played a good game. Even though you're gonna need JT. You're gonna need JT to win these games later here in the playoff. But Stetson wasn't bad. But this run game has definitely been the game changer in the offense and really carried here for Georgia. James Cook, 104 and 2 touchdowns in this game. For Tennessee, though, Cedric Tillman, 10 receptions, 200 yards and a touchdown. I do see you. You did hold it down. But Georgia, 41-17, all UGA. Ohio State and Purdue. I knew this game was over as soon as Purdue was ranked, as did many people. The committee was out here protecting Ohio State because we all know what happens when an unranked Purdue team faces a top 5 team. And when you saw that, I think it was 17th, coincidentally, pop up for Purdue, you just knew. You just knew Ohio State was going to roll, and roll did they. C.J. Stroud, 31 for 38, 361, 5 touchdowns. I'm going to give credit where credit was due. Very good game for C.J. Stroud. But here's my thing. He shouldn't be in the Heisman race. With all due respect to C.J. Stroud, he should not be in the Heisman race. I cannot justify calling a man the best player in college football or giving a man a player deemed for the most valuable or the best in college football this year. I cannot give that to him when I'm not sure if he's even the 5th best player on his own offense. I'm not sure if he's the 5th best player on his own offense. I can't justify, because Stroud's job, as I say every week, and I will continue to say, no offense, listen, he's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. I say this, I'm not trying to slander him, but when you have Jackson Smith-Nada, 9 receptions, 139 and a touchdown in his replay from last week's monster game where he had 15 receptions. You got Garrett Wilson, 10 receptions, 126, 3 touchdowns. You got Chris Olave, 9 receptions, 85 yards, 1 touchdown. Travion Henderson, a future Heisman candidate himself, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. You cannot convince me that C.J. Stroud is the guy that's engineering that offense. He's not. If you're on my defense, I'm not worried about Stroud. I'm worried about Henderson. I'm worried about how am I supposed to cover 50 million first-round receivers or whatever Brian Hartline has constricted and contracted at Ohio State. Something ridiculous. That 3-headed, really could be 4 or 5-headed monster they have in that receiving corps. And then you have a phenom and freshman running back Travion Henderson. I'm not worried about Stroud. Stroud's going to put up big numbers. If you throw Quinn in there right now, he's going to throw up big numbers. If you throw in, who's the top high school quarterback right now? Cade Klubnik. If you throw Cade off of that Westlake team, and you throw him in here right now, barely knowing the playbook, he's going to put up 300 yards a game just because of how good that receiving corps is. I cannot understate how good that receiving corps is and how good Henderson is. But Purdue also put up 31 points. That Ohio State defense is so suspect. Aiden O'Connell, 40 for 52. You know how he does in big games. 390. David Bell, 11 receptions, 103. Again, we have 4 of the best receivers in the country in one game, and they all showed up. Ohio State, though, dominates. They get the win. Texas A&M, Ole Miss. College game day, Katy Perry. Lane Kiffin came in. He picked all the games. That was cool to see. And, of course, every time Katy Perry, she's the queen of Oxford. If she picks Ole Miss to win, they're going to win on college game day. They get it done 29-19 here. And normally we talk about Matt Corral when we talk about Ole Miss, but we're talking about the running back, Jerrion Ely, man. Also a phenomenal baseball player, but Jerrion Ely held it down, 186 total in this game for him. He was the engine for that offense. Also, honorable mention, Devon Akin for Texas A&M, the running back, broke out last year in the bowl game, 110, 2 touchdowns for him. Great games from the running backs, but also a big win for Ole Miss. And Alabama's wins just continue to it just dilapidates. It just dilapidates. Like Florida got mangled, LSU got mangled. The team that beat them lost, even though I guess they did beat Ole Miss, so I guess balances out a little bit. But their wins are aging like absolute garbage, like garbage. Like Bama hasn't played. If you look up, like Bama has not played like anybody. And in the committee's terms, they haven't played anybody. They played Ole Miss, good team. Played Texas A&M, good team. But the rest of it has just been garbage. The SEC it's not what it usually is. Wake Forest and NC State. Huge matchup here. Battle in North Carolina. Wake Forest gets the win 45-42. Sam Hartman. I mean, both of these quarterbacks have had great seasons. won their best days, but they did enough to win. They did enough to win. Wake Forest, as always, a super exciting game, even though there's 50 million ads in it. 290, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks though for Hartman. Leary, 408, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks for him. Give a shout out to Messi from NC State, wide receiver. 10 receptions, 133, 2 touchdowns, great game for him. Devin Carter as well, 7 receptions, 132, 2 touchdowns. But at the end of the day, Wake Forest, another high-scoring shootout, and they get the win. They get the win. Learned a little bit from their mistakes, made stops at the end there where they had to happen, and the offense just got it done. Just got it done for them, as they have pretty much the entire season. But good win there. Arkansas defeats LSU 16-13. Sam Pittman got him back on track. Like I said, LSU hot garbage this year. KJ Jefferson 183 and a touchdown. Arkansas back on track. Back on track. LSU. Yeah, you sold your soul for the national title, but it was worth it. You know, that was one of the greatest teams of all time. So, you know, the pit of misery you're in right now was worth it for that natty. Wisconsin beats Northwestern 35-7, and I'm really just talking about that because the defense went crazy. Jim Lombardi, pay him whatever you want, 4 picks in this game off of Northwestern. And Braylon Allen, the 17-year-old freshman running back who started off on defense, 173 in this game. Him and Trevion Henderson have to be the 2 running backs for the all-freshman team. Those 2 are going to be monsters in the Big Ten and really for the country for the next 3 years. Good luck. I'm warning you now. Braylon Allen, he is the next one. And to end off this segment, Florida State gets the win over Miami. Congrats to Florida State. They've really turned this around. After the horrible, worst in school history start, they have turned it around and, you know, get a big win against the U for the first time, I think, in 4 games. Also, staying in the great state of Florida. Florida nearly lost to Samford, bro. To Samford. What is the SEC? What is that? Listen, I know everybody's saying it means more, but Texas lost to Kansas. Oklahoma lost. Florida nearly lost to Samford and let them put 52. Emory Jones went 28 for 34, had 550 and 7 touchdowns, and they nearly lost. Florida State, I mean, listen, it was just SEC down horrendous, but nonetheless, we'll see what the committee says on Tuesday. I expect pretty much the same in Cincinnati getting shafted. You know how this goes. College basketball is back, ladies and gentlemen. It's back. It's back. It's the most wonderful time of the year once again. We got football in full effect. We got basketballs now fully back. It's a wonder. It's the most wonderful time. Besides the fact that it's about to get, you know, cold. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Fall sports in full bloom. And of course, we kicked it off with the Champions Classic as always. Kansas held down Michigan State, but I really want to talk about Duke and Kentucky because us, the Blue Devils, we get the win 79-71 in a very good game. But the big story, of course, was the 2 freshmen from Duke. Paolo Banchero has lived up to the hype in this first week. He's pretty much starred in all the performances. His game looks so smooth. So smooth. So composed. Like, it's better than I thought it would be. It's better than I knew how good he was, but he looks like a number 1 pick contender, which is what we expected. He's going to be in contention for ACC Player of the Year, absolutely. Trevor Keels had 25 in that Kentucky game. Wasn't as good the rest of the week, but really like what I saw from Keels. Shot wasn't falling, but just, I mean, like they said, all commentary long, they were kind of abusing it. He's got an NBA-ready body, and he knows how to use it. Knows how to use his strength to his advantage and get a bucket. Keels is an absolute bucket. He looked fantastic, but probably the most impressive, even over Paulo, even over Trev this week, was Wendell Moore. Former top player in North Carolina, former 5-star prospect Wendell Moore, has finally, it's proof that we still have player development skills. And it felt very good to see Wendell this week because he's just flipped that switch. He's become a different player. He has stepped up defensively. He's anchoring us defensively alongside Mike Williams. This is the best defense I've seen us play this early in the season in a very, very long time. And yeah, triple-double against Army. I think the 3rd one of the Coach K era. He's been great. He's been great making shots. He was super hot in that Kentucky game, and just his shot making skill so much better. The defense is there. The athleticism has been fantastic. Some of the dunks. He is going to catch a crazy body this year. But Wendell looks so good this year, and you'd love to see it. You'd love to see it. Though I have to give a shout out for Kentucky, Oscar Shebe is the best rebounder in the country. Bar none, best rebounder in the country. It's not even up for debate. Dude might average like 17 plus rebounds this year. 15 against us, 20 in their last game. He rebounds everything. He rebounded this video. He is the best rebounder. The ball is like a magnet to him. It's insane to watch. But, of course, we'll see how those two teams, both of them look very good. Kentucky might have a little bit more growth. Duke still, nonetheless, of course, still needs some growth, still needs some growing to do. But both of those teams should be making the tournament this year, unlike whatever happened last year. UCLA, and the two other big games this week we'll go over, UCLA and Nova. In Pauley Pavilion, packed house, even though I heard there was some problems getting in. UCLA gets the win in overtime, 86-77, and already a Game of the Year candidate. Jamie Jaquez, 21-13. He's the best player on that team. I know Juzane got hot at the end, 25 points, led him in scoring, but Jaquez, Triple J, he's the best player on that team. Dude is beast. He's an absolute beast, one of the best players in the country. I do have to give a shout out to Jermaine Samuels for Villanova. He had a very efficient 20, go along with 5 threes for the forward. But UCLA looks as good as advertised, and of course they got freshmen like Peyton Watson. That UCLA team, Tiger Campbell, it's a dangerous team. Dangerous team. They look like a Final Four team already. This is what we expected. Everybody came back from that run last year, and they're playing like it. Huge win early on against Colin Gillespie, Jay Wright, and this Villanova team. We'll see how these two teams go on, but I expect UCLA to be at the very top of the college basketball world all year. Gonzaga in Texas. Drew Timme. Drew Timme is the best player in the country. He is the best player in the country. He was unstoppable in this game. He could have dropped 40. He could have dropped 40. He almost did. 37-7 for Timme in this game. 15 for 19. Everything inside was too easy. The footwork is too good. His inside touch is too good. The hook shot is too good. It's too good. Timme is simply he's too good. He's too good. He's well on pace to becoming, he's already a Gonzaga legend. He's well on pace to becoming a college basketball legend. I got him win a National Player of the Year this year. He looked like the best player in the country. Texas still, brought in Marcus Carr, brought in all these additions. They'll be fine. I think they'll gel later on and they'll be a better team. But Gonzaga, Andrew Nembhard, we all know Chet Holmgren, just that team, Jordan Strawfus made a jump. It's just a different. Wazir Bolton from Iowa State is now there. He was a big contributor in this game. It's just a different team, man. It's just Gonzaga is different, the number one team in the country for a reason. I am so scared to play them because I think that might be our first loss of the season. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Gonzaga early on, looking good. College basketball is back. Now for entertainment, like I said on episode 66, I said I was going to watch the Eternals. I got it here for you guys this week. Wow. Everybody was like, for the critics saying this was like the worst Marvel movie, not even close. Not even close. It was a good film. Was it one of the best ever? Did I walk out of there like, grasped or emotionally charged like Infinity War or Endgame or, Winter Soldier? It wasn't like that, or Black Panther. No, it wasn't like that. But this was it was a good film. I don't know why y'all were now there were certain aspects I would have changed and have questions about. Sure, but it's still like a good 7.7. It's not a waste of your time. Dane Whitman, I'm very intrigued to see what Kit Harington and Dane Whitman do. Of course, spoiler alert as always on all this. Blade, that end credit scene was fantastic. One of the best ones I think they've had. Him almost picking up the blade, and then we had Blade come in with his voice, and I'm very interested to see Dane and Blade and what their dynamic could be if they're going to be together. Dane and Cersei, though, that relationship was very, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Very interesting to see what Black Knight and Cersei get up to. As they were one of the big couples in Marvel's comics in the 90s. So very interested to see what happens there. Emma Chan was fantastic, by the way, as Cersei. She was great. I mean, the cast held it down. The cast was phenomenal. The cast for this movie was great. They all did a fantastic job. Icarus, I'm wondering if he's really dead. I know he flew into the sun because, Icarus is the boy that flew too close to the sun. He literally flew into the sun to apparently kill himself. We'll see what happens there. We'll see if Icarus is really dead. I didn't expect. I haven't read much Eternal, so I did not know that, he was going to turn on him like this, or how complex. One thing I do like from this movie, shout out to Chloe Zhao, is how complex all of the characters, how complex all the Eternals were, their motivations. That was very, very well done. Icarus was a very, very complex character. Gilgamesh was oh my goodness, Gilgamesh was that was my dog. And then they killed him, and I was salty, bro. I was so salty. Gilga was great. Him and Dina's relationship was great. A lot of relationships in this movie. That's kind of what this movie was built on, was relationships. But yeah, Dina, Angelina Jolie held it down. Wish she could have been given a little bit more, but yeah, Dina still was very good. She was very good in that role. But Drew and Makari carried, bro. Drew and Makari were the best. They were the best. Interesting to see her take on a speedster. Also, for her, the actor is actually mute, deaf, which is dope to see that representation and see her actually get to play a character that's actually deaf. Makari and of course Drew, what a character! Their relationship was also the most wholesome. It was just, they were the best. They were the absolute best. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with the Deviants. They felt kind of like a subplot to, everything else that was going on. But overall, The Eternals, it's not a waste of time. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. No, I mean, I wasn't going to come on here and, crap on it. It was a good movie. Let's talk about perfection, though. I've given out maybe two. I think two, maybe three. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know I gave Kai last year. I gave Kai, and almost about this time, I gave him the first 10. I think I gave somebody else a 10. I'm giving my third, I believe, 10 on the 815 exchange, and I'm going to give it to Album of the Year, and that is An Evening with Silk Sonic. What did you knew this album was going to be fantastic. You knew it was going to be Album of the Year. I don't even know, listen, everybody knew. This was the least surprising Album of the Year candidate of all time. We knew this was going to be an instant classic, and oh boy, was it an instant classic. Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars go together like peanut. I don't like so beyond peanut butter and jelly, like beyond I don't like. It's perfect. It's perfect. They sound perfect. The sound was perfect. This album was perfect. After Last Night feat Thundercat. Oh my goodness. That song is getting added to a certain playlist. A lot of songs from this album are getting added to a certain playlist. And if you are of age, you know what I'm talking about. Smoking Out the Window is such a good song. It's such a good song. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Fly As Me, 777. Just the whole album blast off. Even I was rocking even more with Skate. Not that Skate was a bad song. It was just the weakest of the singles. But even here, it was just like Skate. Like this album is perfect. It's a 10. It's a 10. I'm giving it a 10. If you have not, for whatever reason, deprived your ears from the auditory sensations of Silk Sonic, please do yourself a favor and go listen to that album as soon as you get done watching and liking and sharing and subscribing to me and the 815 Exchange episode 67. Please do yourself a favor and go listen to this album. It's only 31 minutes, and it's 31 minutes of pure perfection. I need more. Stay together. Make a second album. We need it. Do it for the culture, because this was a perfect 10. Polo G, Bad Man, Smooth Criminal. He also got the cosign from the Michael Jackson family, which I think was a super dope thing of Polo to do, a very honorable thing to do. So a lot of credit to him for that. Only bad thing about the song, too short. 1 minute 46 seconds. I hate this trend of shorter and shorter songs. Put some length on your songs, man. 3 minutes, it's not that hard. But 1 minute, I mean, it was a good song though. It was a good song. I know a lot of people were kind of up and down on that. I think Polo has gotten to the part where he's so big that he's kind of getting a lot of criticism now, and I think we're seeing a lot of that. But nonetheless, this was still, in my opinion, a very good song. I know he's got Hall of Fame 2 coming up, so we'll see. We'll check that out, of course, and see what's up with that. But Bad Man, Smooth Criminal, you've seen it all over TikTok. Finally dropped the full version of it. I was rocking with it. Also, before I end this entertainment segment, I am financially obligated, according to my friends, to talk about Donda Remix. Well, not the Donda Remix. What am I talking about? The Donda Deluxe dropped. I haven't listened to it yet. Y'all can let me know what y'all thought about that. But he did drop it, of course, on a Sunday because, we got to keep with the theme here. But nonetheless, that was entertainment. After what was a very wacky and wild week in the NFL where, all of the good teams just got upset. It was a strange. It was like a Twilight Zone, last week in week 9. Week 10, we started off again, still on the week 9 type stuff. The Dolphins pulled the upset over the Ravens 22-10. I don't think anybody saw this one coming. The Dolphins defense just came to play and they shut it down. They straight up, that's all I can say is they shut down this Ravens offense. They shut down Lamar Jackson. Caused a couple turnovers. The defense was just phenomenal. It was phenomenal. I would dare say their best defensive performance and most impressive at least, probably honestly overall just as a team, even though the offense wasn't spectacular, probably their most impressive performance from the Dolphins to shut down the Ravens in the fashion they did on Thursday night. They just got it done. That's all I can really say is they came to play, and again, a huge upset here, but credit to the Dolphins. They got the win. Let's talk about them Cowboys, baby. It was a down bad week as we got trounced by the Broncos last week, but we were back to winning ways and back up on it this week as we get the win 43-3 over the Falcons. We dominated. We absolutely dominated this game. Dak Prescott, 24 for 31, 296 and 2 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb. It felt like he had more than 6 receptions, 94 yards and 2 touchdowns, but that is what he had. CeeDee was feasting. He was, in the red zone, it felt like he was automatic. So many big plays. Trevon Diggs. Trevon Diggs is back on the interception board, baby. 8th pick of the season. Dallas, we're a problem. We're a problem. We're a contender. I'm buying in. I'm buying in. Subtly buying in. I'm still aware that we are the Cowboys and we are susceptible to blowing this, but we are a contender. I will drink that juice. I will allow myself to get hurt by this team. Not as hurt as I would in the past. I'm not fully opened up, but I believe we are a very, very good team. I'm not gonna go all Super Bowl. Whoa, we're winning the Super Bowl. We're a contender. We're a contender. We're a contender. The defense, Micah Parsons, Defensive Rookie of the Year. The offense, Dak Prescott, one of the best quarterbacks on the planet. The offense, we're a contender. We're a contender. I think we can all agree on that. Titans and the Saints. Titans win streak now goes to 6. Even without the king, the Titans still finding ways to win. Tannehill, 213 and a touchdown. Really, once again, defense showed up. Mark Ingram got in the box. But, impressive performance from that defense in terms of just kind of getting it done. Just getting it done. Vrabel, what more to say? He's a great coach. He's a great coach. And this team on Sunday was very well coached. And they had the right game plan, and they get it done. They get it done versus the Saints. The Colts and the Jaguars. This game had no business being as close as it was. Trevor Lawrence had a nightmare. J-Rob, however, was great. It was great for my fantasy team. 57 yards and a touchdown. Also had 4 receptions, 27 yards, PPR. He held it down on my bench, of course. But for the Colts, Wentz, not his finest, but Jonathan Taylor is coming for the rushing title. I said he was RB1 in the draft. I said this last week, actually. I really probably said this last couple weeks, honestly. Jonathan Taylor is the truth. He is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All right? Jonathan Taylor is that guy. He is that guy. 116 and a touchdown. Dude's a beast. He's a beast. Saw ourselves with Wisconsin. If you watched the footage of Wisconsin, you knew it was going to translate, and it is translated here. Colts get the win. Patriots and the Browns. The Pats beat the brakes off of the Browns. I mean, Mac Jones. We are going to praise Mac Jones. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what I'm him being, cool QB4. What? No, I'm praising Mac Jones. I'm giving him his flowers. 19 for 23, 198, 3 touchdowns. They just do it so well. I mean, what else do we expect? He's got Bill Belichick. He's got the weapons. He's put in a position to succeed. And this is what happens. When you put your rookie quarterback in a position to succeed, you get stuff like how Mac Jones played in this game and how the Patriots did in this game defensively. They got it all together. It's why they're streaking. It's why they're so hot. And this Browns team, one of the most disappointing teams definitely this year. Absolutely. Baker just sit him. You're 5-5 at this point. It is what it is. Sit him. Not because he's playing bad, but because he's so clearly hurting that it's detrimental to the team. Let your franchise quarterback rest and get healthy. All right? Your season is probably not going to do much, right? It's gonna crap. Let the man rest. Let him come back stronger. Ramondre Stevenson, by the way, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns in this game. Pats played a complete game, completely dominated the Browns, and one of the most surprising results of the week. Bills and the Jets, and well, the Mike White experiment, rest in peace. He had 1 week as a star quarterback, 24 for 44, 251, and 4 interceptions. As that Bills defense was causing him all kinds of issues. We had a white-on-white crime. Tre'Davious White got the pick. Josh Allen got back to business. 366 and 2 touchdowns for Josh Allen. Stephon Diggs, 8 receptions, 162 and a touchdown. Bills back to winning ways. The Jets, you're back in contention for that number 1 overall pick, baby. Y'all were acting up the past couple weeks, but hey, we're back to the normal, back to the status quo. Y'all getting murdered every week. But yeah, the Bills back on track. I don't know what happened last week versus Jacksonville, but they fixed all that, and they had Mike White fighting demons. I'm gonna be honest, they had him fighting demons. You know who else are fighting demons? The Pittsburgh Steelers. I did have to give a noted Steelers fan that I know. Did have to give her a little bit of flack and had to chirp her a little bit, because how do you lose? How do you tie with the Detroit Lions, who are also the greatest winless team of all time apparently? Now the Steelers were working without 2 of the top receivers, working without Ben Roethlisberger. We all know Mason Rudolph is hot garbage. Please draft a quarterback. Just draft a quarterback. I know it's not a great quarterback. Y'all draft a quarterback, man. I don't know why y'all acting like Mason Rudolph might have a shot at being the next guy. No. See it clearly, as you can see. No. Draft a quarterback. Oh my goodness. Najee Harris goes over 100 yards. DeAndre Swift went over 100 yards. And those were really the only 2 positives, I guess, besides the defense is holding down. And I guess the kicker's putting on a clinic here. Those were the only 2 bright spots. Jared Goff. Sean McVay deserves a gold jacket for getting the Rams to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff as quarterback. Dude is one of the worst number 1 overall picks in recent memory. It took him 70 minutes to barely get over 100 yards passing. Had my boy T.J. Hawkinson get a goose egg. Disgusting behavior. The Lions enjoy the number 1 overall pick. Dan Campbell's not the problem, though. He's clearly not the problem, but Goff is not the guy. Mason Rudolph's not the guy. Nobody won in that game. Not even the fans. Wasn't even an enjoyable tie. It was god-awful. Bucks, what's going on? Tom Brady played his worst game of the season. For a guy that's been lauded as an MVP candidate, he threw 2 interceptions, and they took a big fat L to the Washington football team. Even though it took them losing Chase Young to a torn ACL. Wish him all the best. He wasn't having the best season this year, but wish the Predator to have all of the best in his recovery, even from a rival. Taylor Heineke must love playing Tampa Bay because 26 for 32, 256, 1 touchdown. Best game he's played in a long time. Gibson got in the box twice. The Bucs just, it was, I don't know what it is about Washington, but that seems to be their kryptonite. And they just cannot get over that hump against Washington. But nonetheless, congrats to the Washington football team. They get it done. No slander this week. Hate Chase, got injured. Bucks, what is going on? What is going on? Now it's Brady, and I'm sure I'll get it together, but I don't know what's going on. Superman returns. The real Superman, not Caleb Williams Superman. He wasn't alive. He was not here. He was dealing with the kryptonite that is Baylor. They were green. But Superman returned here to the 7-0-4 for the Panthers as, Sam Darnold's been garbage and is injured. P.J. Walker's been up and down. Played a good game here besides the interception. But Cam Newton is back, baby. And in his first 2 snaps, 2 touchdowns. Superman returns, like I said. He's back. Of course, the Cardinals were working out Kyler and Hop, and that's going to cause them all kinds of issues. They're just not the same team. They fall to a mighty 8-2. Mighty 8-2. They're going to need Kyler to come back very, very soon because Colt McCoy, with all due respect, this is not Texas. Carolina, CMC is back, and he is back in a big way. 95 yards rushing, 66 passing, to go along with 10 receptions. That's why he had a crazy day in fantasy without having a touchdown, by the way. But yeah, Carolina, 34-10, huge win. Morale is up here in the 7-0-4. A lot of people are optimistic. Cam coming back was just huge. It was the right move to make. It was the move I said needed to happen. It's the move they did make. So all credit due to the front office. And yeah, big win here against one of the NFL's finest teams this year. Panthers get it done. Vikings and the Chargers. Vikings get the win over the Chargers, who are also one of the bigger underperformers, I dare say, in the league this year. For what their potential could be, it's just not been there. Jay Herbo, I'm taking your name back. You're not Jay Herbo anymore. I'm taking Jay Herbo back. You're just Justin Herbert. He's in a little bit of a sophomore slump. I'm not going to lie. He's in a little bit of a sophomore slump. Kirk Cousins, though, had it going. 25 for 37, 294 and 2 touchdowns. Jettas, 143, 9 receptions. Dalvin had 94 and a touchdown. Good to see he's still healthy. And yeah, Vikings bounce back, get it done, take down the Chargers. And yeah, the Chargers have been one of the more disappointing teams in my opinion this year. Eagles and the Broncos. The Broncos, fresh off of that huge win against the Cowboys, played better in the second half, but they played the first half so ridiculously bad that it didn't matter. Darius Slay seized the moment and got it done. It really was the game winner, the game clincher at the very least. That fumble return put the game away, and the Broncos just had nothing for the Eagles. Hurts was great in the first half, was subpar in the second half. Devontae Smith, though, on his birthday, that insane touchdown catch to go along with 66 yards receiving and 4 receptions, also had another touchdown. But yeah, Denver, they're a 5-5 team. They're the epitome this year, I'd say. They are the 5-5 team. Every year we have that team that is the 500 team. The Broncos are this year's epitome of a 5-5 team. The Eagles get the win here on the road. Going to need to clean up, whatever happened in that second half. First half was brilliant, but the defense really saved y'all that second half. Packers and the Seahawks. The big storyline, of course, was A-Rod and Russ coming back, their first games back, respectively. And they weren't very good. But the Packers defense is for real. That Packers defense is for real. They don't even have Yair Alexander, but they completely shut down the Seahawks. DK gets ejected at the end. They pick off Russ twice. It just was brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff from that Packers defense. They showed out. Raj wasn't his best game. Devontae wasn't his best game. A.J. Dillon, though, had a very good game. 2 touchdowns. Got involved in the receiving attack. Aaron Jones might be in trouble. He might be in trouble. But nonetheless, congrats to the Packers. They get it done 17-0. And to end off here, Patrick Mahomes is back from the dead. 35 for 50, 406, 5 touchdowns. He's back. He's back. I don't know where Pat Mahomes has been, But the real Pat Mahomes showed up against the Vegas Raiders. Derek Carr got picked off, still had 261 and 2 touchdowns. But like I said, Mahomes and that passing attack were back in a big way. Kelsey, 8 receptions, 119. Williams, 9 receptions, 101 and a touchdown. Cheetah, 2 touchdowns. Pringle even got in the box. It was classic. It was a classic Chiefs game. It looked like the Kansas City Chiefs we all expected at the beginning of the season. And yeah, we'll see if this means they're really back or if it's just smoke and mirrors. We'll see what happens here. But Mahomes is back. I can finally start him again on my fantasy team. It looks like I might get the win and I didn't start him. I was a little concerned. But yeah, Mahomes is back. The Chiefs are back. We'll see if it lasts. Now, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the Roundup. And, of course, we had a UFC Vegas card once again at the Apex, I believe. Max Blessed Holloway. The best is still blessed. And Max Holloway needs to donate his body to science. When Max, passes away, hopefully not anytime soon, he needs to donate his body to science. Because the man is made of vibranium. He is made of vibranium. Another fight of the year. How many of these are we going to get this year? We got like a list of like 12 or 10 fights that can be fight of the year this year. It's been a great year for the UFC and a great year for mixed martial arts. Max Holloway gets the UD over Yair. We knew it was going to be a firecracker, and it was. But my goodness, the punishment these two men took. Max, I don't know, what is he made of? He's just built, he's unironically built different. Yair also, him versus Ortega, I think that's the fight to make. That'll also be an incredible fight. But Max wins again. He didn't look like he was too worried about a trilogy versus, Volk. Looked like he was looking for more of the money fights. Because honestly, even though he's 29, I don't know how much longer Max has going with how much punishment he's taken. Now, he also deals it out in spades, don't get it wrong. He's past the 3,000 significant strike mark, which is insane. But I don't know how much longer he's got. When his chin goes, it's going to be a BJ Penn-esque fall. But for now, Max Holloway continues to be one of the best fighters on the planet. Lewis Hamilton, had the controversy, failed in qualifying, got DQ'd, so he had to start from the back. But it doesn't matter when you're the GOAT, because Lewis Hamilton gets right back on the brink of Max Verstappen in that F1 championship standings. He gets the win at the Brazilian Grand Prix. Of course, Max got number 2, Bottas got number 3. But Lewis overcomes some obstacles, shows why he is the GOAT. He gets closer to that 8th, that record-breaking 8th F1 title. Chef Curry has been stirring with the pot, even though he wasn't really stirring in the 704 back home yesterday against the Hornets. Steph has been obliterated. Obliterating the league this year. The Warriors have the best record in the league. I think he's averaging like 30, 50. I think he's got 3 40-point games this season. Broke the 3-point record for a career. Chef Curry has been in full effect, looking like MVP Curry. Him and KD have definitely been the top 2 guys, I think, in terms of MVP candidacy early on here. But yeah, Chef Curry cooking with the pots. And to end off here, I have to say, man, World Cup qualifying going on. I know Portugal's down bad, but us, back here in the red, white, and blue, 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. We get the sweep. Somebody break the broomsticks out. If you got them at home, get your broomsticks. Because we broke them out against Mexico this year. We go 3-0. Bye. 2-0. Captain America returns. 5 minutes on. Fantastic header. Timothy Weah has been so good down the stretch for us here and really become a major factor of the national team. And the golden generation gets it done yet again. Weston McKenzie also just a boy from Little Elm, the wizard. You're a wizard, Weston. He gets the goal to put it away, and we get the win over Mexico. Man in the mirror. Ochoa can say what he wants. We're top of the group. Enjoy playing in Canada and, negative degree weather, and see how y'all enjoy that as you try to fight back. But, yeah, America, the red, white, and blue, we get it done. Broke out the broomsticks against our biggest rival. El Tree, more like El Tree, 2-0, once again, the most magical scoreline, and USA beats Mexico. We're top of the group. I know Norway's fighting some demons over in Europe also, but yeah, interesting stuff going on here in World Cup qualifying for Qatar 2022. We'll see what happens there. But hope you guys enjoyed episode 67. It is in the books. As always, like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. But yeah, this was a fun one to record. We'll see you next week for episode 68. I'm going to enjoy my vacation, but we'll probably get some videos out later this week. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Ocho, signing off.